Hello, in this video I'm gonna explain how to install Windows from a USB drive on your HONOR MagicBook. This process is gonna be quite complicated, but there are some reasons that you may want to install it. So the most obvious reason is if you don't have any system installed. But sometimes if your system is corrupted, something is not working well, you may also want to install the Windows from USB drive. So I'm gonna explain everything from the beginning. So first I'm gonna warn you that you not only need to be careful, but before we continue, you need to make sure that you have required tools. So if your MagicBook doesn't have this port on either of the sides, this is how it should look, then you most probably should get an adapter. I have one right here. So this is how it looks. It has the Ethernet port. On the other end, it's USB-C. And we're gonna use it for the setup because Windows 11, which I'm gonna install, requires me to have internet during setup. And that can be skipped, but afterwards, even if you skip it, you still need to install drivers because I didn't mention it before. Windows doesn't install the Wi-Fi drivers automatically unless you connect your laptop to the internet. So you can install the drivers afterwards, but it'll still be quite complicated because you will need to somehow connect to the internet. So you'll either need to have the adapter, or to have an external Wi-Fi card, or connect it with your phone with Bluetooth or via USB. And then you should be able, with this Bluetooth or USB tethering, share network connection from your phone, but of course it'll be much slower than connecting it with Wi-Fi, or the best with a cable. So I really would recommend using an adapter, and also to that adapter you will need to have a possibility of connecting your laptop to your home network with this cable. So you need to have the Ethernet cable. If you don't have it, then you will need to use the other ways and workarounds, which I'm gonna try to explain later. So besides that, you also, if you don't have any system on right now, or you cannot access it, you'll need another PC with Windows to create the bootable drive. And when it comes to drives, we also need to have a USB drive that has, I think, at least 8 GB, but if it has 16, then I think it'll be even better. Although I think mine has like 64. So before we start, let's plug in the laptop to the charging so we can make sure that it's charging, and I'm gonna put it away because we'll need to use the second laptop now, or PC, or whatever that runs Windows on it, because only on Windows we can easily create that bootable device. Okay, and on this second laptop, just go into any browser. Then in the browser, search for Windows 11. Okay, I didn't switch the keyboard. So search for that phrase, Windows 11 ISO. Then go to the Microsoft.com website. It should be the correct Microsoft.com, not any other one. Then I'm gonna scroll down to download Windows 11 disk image ISO for x64 devices, and let's find Windows 11. Then click on download now. Now choose the language, so I'm gonna choose English International and confirm. Now it'll give me the download link. So let's click on that to download it. And now we also will need a tool for creating the bootable drive, which is called Rufus. So we can get it from rufus.ie. And now we should just go down to that, I think the first version, or if the laptop you're creating the bootable device on, it has the 32-bit architecture, you may want to select that. Or if it has, for some reason, ARM64, then you can select that, but it's not really common. So I'm gonna select the first option because this is what my architecture is, and it's also the most common one, so you can just try it out, and if it doesn't work, try other one. I'm gonna open the Rufus now. It'll look sort of like that. Then I'm gonna plug in my USB drive into that laptop. Should display it here, yes. Make sure if you have multiple USB drives connected, make sure you're selecting here the correct one. So if you're not sure, just unplug the other ones. And now I'm gonna select to find the Windows 11 ISO, and I already have it downloaded earlier, so I'm gonna select that one. And I'm gonna pause downloading of this new one. Let's go back to Rufus. Now we'll start scanning the image. Then you can click on Start, and here are some things that I recommend selecting. So if you remove these two requirements, if you leave these two checkboxes selected, then you will be able to install the drivers afterwards. What I mean by that is after setting up Windows 11, so it'll help you sort of, because you will be able to use the external Wi-Fi card, which will not be usable in the setup, and also you will be able to maybe install drivers from the manufacturer's website. But as I've tried it before, it didn't work, although I'm still gonna show you that later. So I'm gonna remove these two requirements. If you don't remove them, or you already have a USB bootable drive, for example, bought from Microsoft, then of course you will need to connect to Ethernet. So I'm gonna click on OK, then OK again. And now it'll start creating the bootable drive. It'll take a moment, and after that, we will be able to unplug the drive and start setting up our laptop, our HONOR MagicBook. And now the drive was created, so we can unplug it. And also I'm gonna explain now the driver's installation in case you don't have the adapter. So there is a chance, which didn't work for me, but maybe will work for you. So let's find it. Type in just HONOR MagicBook and your exact model. So I'm gonna look at the bottom of my laptop to see the model. In my case, it's something like here. It says NBL WAQ9H and R. So I'm gonna type it in. But first I'm gonna type in the main model, then yeah, I think this is the one. Now I'm gonna type in drivers. Okay. Laptops. Honestly, I don't know which one. I have no idea. NBR WHAQ. I wanted to that one. BL. Okay, let's try the N series. Okay, honestly, I cannot find it. And and I have no idea, so let's just find any of those. Maybe you will have more luck with finding the one. Is it this one? I don't know. And here we can find the wireless LAN, and then you should be able to download it. And we're gonna get to that later with installing, so I'm just gonna explain it later in case you need anything with that. So let's go back to our Honor now, and I'm gonna just open it, plug in the drive before turning it on. Now turn it on, and after that start repeatedly pressing on F12 key. Then select USB device and click on enter. You don't have to plug in the adapter just yet. I'm gonna tell you when to plug it in. So now plug in the charger to make sure that it doesn't get discharged during the process. So now leave the charger in and don't plug in the adapter if you have it for USB-C. Then click on, you can select the language and time and currency format. I'm just gonna click on next. Then keyboard or input method, I'm gonna click on next. I'm gonna agree to everything be deleted, next. Now I'm gonna accept. Now it's searching for disks, and we need to select the disk that we want to install it on. And here is something that is pretty important, and you need to make sure you don't mistake it. I mean, you can see that on disk 1, which is my pen drive, my USB drive, just cannot delete partitions, so that's great. But if you have more than one disk, make sure that you're deleting it from the correct one, so we can just sum up the total size, and if it comes out to be the same as your hard drive, then you can then you'll be sure. And for each partition, you can just delete each partitions from disk 0, of course, or any other disk that you want to install it on, but most probably disk 0 if you have only one USB drive plugged in. So I'm just gonna delete all of the partitions. Sometimes you will have only disk 0 unallocated space, so you can just select that and click on next, but I'm gonna also get to that in a moment. I just wanna delete everything so I don't have these multiple partitions, which don't really mean a lot, since I want to have everything deleted from this laptop. Then I'm gonna delete all of the partitions. And now I can select the disk 0 unallocated space and click on next. Now click on install, and here it should start installing Windows 11, so we just need to wait now. And now the system was just installed. You can unplug the drive if you want, and we need to configure it. In a moment I'll get to the complicated internet part. So let's select the country or region, then the keyboard layout. I'm gonna skip the second keyboard layout, and then here you can I can connect to Wi-Fi, so if you also can, then it's no big deal. But in the previous trial of setting up everything, I wasn't able. So since we have removed the requirement for internet connection, you can click on I don't have internet, or you can plug in the adapter as I've said. And if you plug in the adapter, the Wi-Fi driver will be installed in a moment automatically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually click on I don't have internet, or no, I'm gonna select the Wi-Fi since I already have the Wi-Fi option. Then I'm gonna select it, but it's really common that you will not see. I'm actually surprised that I have the Wi-Fi driver. Then I'm gonna click on next. And you can see if you have the Wi-Fi or wired connection, then it'll start checking for updates. If it checks for updates, you don't need to do anything because the updates will be installed automatically. And now it asks if you want to name your device, so I'm just gonna skip it for now. Then it may start checking for updates again, after I accept some terms, probably. No, it actually started checking for Windows updates. But of course, if you have selected to remove the requirements in the Rufus tool, it will not check for updates. If you click on I don't have internet, and the I don't have internet option is not even available if you don't remove the requirement, and it is mandatory to connect to internet if you don't remove it. And now it is installing another update. This one will take a bit longer than the previous one, so I'll just get back to you when everything is finished. And the update took quite long, but now we can just log into the Microsoft account. I think we'll just be able to skip it since we've removed the requirement for that, but I'm just gonna click on sign in and let's see. Okay, so here you can sign in, or okay, that I can do that, neither can I click on that. So let's click on sign in options. Okay, I don't really know. I think we shouldn't have connected to the internet if we didn't want to add the Microsoft account, but since I've already done that, then I'm just gonna quickly log in. Now we need to create the PIN for our account. Of course, if you want to include letters and symbols, you can select the checkbox underneath. Then here are some settings that I recommend reviewing and unselecting or selecting depending on your preference. Then click on accept. Now, if you have any backup on your OneDrive, then it'll show you this screen. If it does, then you can either click on continue, or you can scroll down and click on more options to choose a different backup or set up as new PC. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click on set up as new PC again because it's gonna be quicker and I don't really have any important data to restore from the backup. Now it asks you for some things. I'm gonna skip that because I don't think it does anything, honestly. Then you can also connect your phone to PC. I'm gonna skip that. Then you can archive your photos to OneDrive. I'm also gonna skip that. And restore browsing data from previous browsers. I'm also gonna skip that. Then I'm gonna decline Microsoft 365 because it costs $130 per year. Then 365 Basic, it costs $2 per month, so I'm gonna skip it. Then I'm gonna click on Next to use only the free features. And now we are in, and now I'm gonna explain what to do if you don't have the internet access. So you can either go to that previous laptop, which I'm gonna open now, and I'm just gonna plug in the USB drive into it. Okay. And I'm gonna replace these laptops for a second. And as we have downloaded Wi-Fi firmware, I'm gonna click on the downloads button, then click here on the folder to see it in folder. Now I'm gonna move it to my USB drive. Then I'm gonna right click on it and click on extract all, extract. Of course, I'm not really sure if that's the correct one because I wasn't able to find the right one. So now we can go back to our laptop, and if this method works, which didn't work for me before, but maybe it'll work for you. So I'm gonna plug that USB drive, plug in this one. Then as I go into File Explorer and to the USB, I should see that folder, software. Then I need to extract that as well. Extract. Then I can open it. And then you just need to follow the instructions on screen. So click on yes, then follow the instructions in this window, click on install and all of that. I'm gonna cancel that because I already have the Wi-Fi drivers and I don't want to break them. And if that works for you, then you should just be able to go to the start button, then go to settings, then go to Windows Update, and then you may need to click on check for updates. It'll check for updates and download and install all. Also, after it installs, check for updates again. And if it shows a button that says optional updates, also click on that and install all of them, and then it should be working. But if the Wi-Fi driver didn't help, then you can either get the external Wi-Fi card or take your phone and set up Bluetooth tethering, then connect it via Bluetooth or via USB cable as well. And you should be able to just also with that go to the Windows Update in settings, and that should help. And that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.